Declaration of Justin L., an exhibit in support of the Flores settlement. I, Justin L., declare under penalty of perjury that the following is true and complete to the best of my knowledge and recollection. My name is Justin L. My date of birth is May 18, 2005. I am 13 years old. I lived in Apopa, El Salvador with my mother until May 30th, 2018, when I left on my own for the United States. I am currently detained in CBP's Ursula Detention Center in McAllen, Texas. I entered the United States by crossing the river on Wednesday, June 13th, 2018. I do not remember the exact time, but it was in the evening. After I crossed, I went in search of U.S. Immigration Police to turn myself in. I walked for about an hour and a half before I found an immigration patrol. The immigration patrol searched me and put my belt and shoelaces in a plastic bag. They gave me a receipt for these belongings. Other than those things, the only other possessions I had were the clothes I was wearing. I had a copy of my birth certificate with me when I left El Salvador, but I lost it in Mexico. The immigration police transferred me to a CBP holding cell in the same town where I am now. I think I may have arrived at 7 p.m., but I am not sure. The police put me in a cell with a lot of other kids. It was very crowded and very dirty. There was trash on the ground. They kept calling people to leave and putting others in, so the number changed all the time, but sometimes I counted 40 other kids, sometimes 32, and a few times fewer than that. I did not receive a blanket. There were no mattresses. We slept directly on the floor. I am not used to this. The dirt from our clothes was on the floor, and it felt very uncomfortable to have to sit on the dirty ground. It was cold, very cold. I only had on a t-shirt, so I pulled my hands inside my shirt to try to keep warm. There were 2 other 13-year-old boys in the cell with me at the start, but they left soon after. The other kids were all 15 and above. I was in the cell for about 17 hours in all. I mean, in the detention center where the cell was. We had to move to another cell twice for cleaning, and police came in 4 times to check names. All these checks, along with the times they called people out or put more in, meant that it was very difficult to sleep. I think that I slept 3 hours in all of the 17 hours I was there. The food we received in that jail was a sandwich and a drink in a plastic bottle. They also gave us some crackers or cookies, but I didn't like them because they had peanuts. I didn't like the sandwich either, but I ate them. We only had food at certain times, and I was hungry in between meals, and there were no snacks in between meals. There was water in the cell in a large plastic thermos. It tastes funny, like chlorine, like it came from a pool. I only drank from it twice because I didn't trust it. I don't think people really believed that water was clean. A lot of other boys didn't drink it. It made me feel funny in my stomach the times I drank it. It was not possible to bathe or shower in that place. I tried to rinse my face with water and wet my hair. I am really not used to going without bathing or combing my hair, so this was very strange and uncomfortable for me. They also did not give us toothbrushes or toothpaste, so we went the whole time without brushing until I came to the place I am now. The toilet was in the cell with us, separated by a little wall. I felt ashamed to use it because there was no privacy. It was uncomfortable to use the toilet with people just on the other side of the wall. The immigration police never explained anything to me. I never knew when they would call me. When they finally called me last night to leave the cell, I thought maybe they were letting me out and I might see my family. I haven't been able to call my father since I was locked up. I want to tell him where I am, and I want to talk to him. Nobody from immigration has said anything to me about talking to my family. I'm afraid to ask because the officials aren't very nice. Here in the place I am now, it is a bit more comfortable because we have more space, we get blankets and mattresses, and the food is better. Here we get apples and better crackers and cookies, and instead of sandwiches, we get tortillas wrapped around rice and beans. The toilets here are separate from the cages where we sleep. They still only have a partial wall, but at least we are not using the toilets right next to people who are sleeping. The immigration police transferred me yesterday, June 14, 2018, in the evening to the place I am now. It was the first time I had seen the sky in 17 hours. I didn't know what time it was until then, but I saw that the sky was dark, and I heard a woman say in English that it was 12:20, so it was just after midnight on June 15th. I don't know what time it is now, and I didn't even know that it is already morning until I asked the lawyer taking this statement, because the lights here are always on. I swear under penalty of perjury that the above declaration is true and complete to the best of my ability. I provided this declaration in Spanish, a language in which I am fluent, and it was read back to me in Spanish. June 15, 2018, McAllen, Texas.